I do think we all were designed to be an encouragement to one another. We've heard the Apostle Paul say, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Honoring others tends to bring out those very positive qualities. There's an old Rotary Club saying that goes, look for the good and praise it. So we're going to take the high road in this ceremony. There will not be one, unless you do it, presenter. I'm looking at Chuck right now. There will not be one notable that will be trashed today. So you can just kind of exhale. And our stated purpose is to honor people who have Sparta roots and have distinguished themselves in various endeavors.
As you know, my father joined the medical practice here in 1957 and contributed so much to all of you and all of your lives and many of your relatives and friends. I don't know how many thousands of babies he delivered, right? Probably quite a number of you in this town, in this audience here today. And along the way, he got going with looking around about what Sparta needed. And one of the things he did earlier that you might not remember is that he and Dan Cheslick and a few other individuals in town put together the Northwest Ambulance Service. Do you remember that? Which later became part of another organization with Rockford. So prior to that, there wasn't an ambulance service locally, which of course served so many people throughout the years.
Since she read that if children don't connect with their environment by age 11, they won't protect it as adults. So since her passion's been to restore God's earth and his children. So she's been trying to connect children and adults to nature ever since and create critically diminishing habitats. She has spearheaded many efforts and written over $50,000 in grants to clean up habitats and plant trees and etc.
I know it was always a point of pride to me every time there was an article in the paper that said James Dugan, Sparta, when he was a candidate for sheriff, or referenced Sparta when he was nominated to be the U.S. Marshal. Because articles like that reminded us that we had the force of our community behind us, and to say this is where the sheriff or the marshal makes his home.
When I met with George W. Bush 43 for an appointment, and that was big. But this is equally as big, which I'm so humbly surprised, and to see people like Doug Green and Charlie Brown and all the rest of you and stuff that come to this event is really an honor for me, and I really appreciate it.
With my dad's passing, we brought him back home to Sparta. My dad had an amazing career. He had some amazing teachers here. And he went on to create the Michigan Space Center in Jackson. But when we brought him home here to Sparta, we experienced love in action. Your community was amazing. They showed up and celebrated his life with us, and for that we're ever grateful.
And what awaited him in Sparta was this humongous, warm welcome from the Sparta community. And the pictures over there, if you see all of the people around and all these crowds and crowds of people and my dad on the back of a car, that was Sparta saying, welcome, our war hero. Thank you for your service. And my dad felt so wonderful and so warm and so honored that the Sparta community welcomed him, this 20-year-old boy, with open arms, thanking him for his service. He wanted to give back.
But this town of Sparta, full of so many kind, caring, hardworking Spartans with the kind of morals and values that can raise a whole village right, saw something in my dad. They encouraged his curiosity and redirected his energy from mischief to hard work. That hard work, combined with my dad's unique ability to keenly understand the lessons that the teachers, the neighbors, the coaches, the bosses, the co-workers, and literally anyone that he encounters that spends even a bit of time with him are trying to teach him, has supported him becoming a success.
As I walked through the office, into his office, there's one of my paintings hanging on his wall. Talk about diffusing a smartass, okay? Mr. Weaver always called me shifty-eyed shiffer. I'm not quite sure I know why, but that's what he called me. And so Mr. Quay says, well, shifty-eyed shiffer, evidently they talked about me in the lunchroom. He says, that just goes to show you that I actually do have hope for you. You know, how do you forget teachers like that, okay? I always think about people that some make it, some don't, but on the basis, but it's how you interpret life and how you interpret what happens to you in life that determines how you turn out in life. And I look back at Sparta, my community, and to me, it's in my blood. All my classmates, we had 135, I think, in our class, something like that. Love every single, I didn't know them all. I probably knew them all, but I didn't pay attention to all of them. They didn't pay attention to me, a lot of them didn't. But today I love every single one of them. They're always on my mind.
He always used to say, if you do what you say you're going to do, and you do it when you say you're going to do it, you will be successful. And that was a very easy formula for him, because he said all you had to do is work hard and do the right thing at the right time.
Under John's leadership, the OCR fostered over 75 new business ventures. And in 2001, Yale became the first university to monetize its intellectual property, kind of make money, when it worked on a drug that effectively treated HIV and AIDS. In 2007, his office created the Yale Entrepreneurial Institute to help undergraduate, graduate, and professional students at Yale to start new business ventures. And in 2009, together with 7 other major research universities, John helped lead the formation of a university partnership, and that collaborative assisted universities to acquire their own startups.
And Don Gaughan was probably the very first coach that really believed that I could do something. And he used to tell my dad. He didn't tell me, he would tell my dad, and my dad would then tell me. And that was very meaningful. But one of the things that Don said, and this is sort of lesson 1, there's no I in team. And that has always stuck with me.
Kind, compassionate, driven, competitive, a strong leader. These words all describe my mom, Ellie Trimble. When I was writing this, I was unable to say which of these words is the one that describes her. Then I realized that they are all equally her.
All these wonderful testimonies from these people, and you are amazing at what you have accomplished, but it is a tribute to our community. My husband and I raised our kids here, our grandkids were raised here, and we spent almost our whole life here, involved in activities in school and in the community. I was hired by Bob Todd, and I think some of you may remember him, to teach in Sparta. And I taught for over 25 years in Sparta. Such a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I think back and I'm proud of some of the things that I taught when I was teaching here.
If not for Bob and Mary Hale incorporating Sparta Township Historical Commission in December of 1990, we would not be here today celebrating these Sparta notables or the many other events that have since come to be. So thank you, Bob and Mary, for keeping history alive for future generations. Your efforts will not be forgotten.
It's been a pleasure to participate in getting the Historical Commission going. But it takes a village and a township and a lot of community support. I don't take credit for all of this. There were many, many people that made this possible. And I thank them very much for honoring my husband and I today. And I would like to have people continue to support the Historical Commission in their endeavors to provide information for our future generations. So if you can be supportive of them, think of them when you have articles that you have that has been in your family. Donate it to the museum so that the future generations can enjoy and appreciate it. Thank you all so much for being here today.